County, under the leadership of Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, is moving swiftly to expand COVID-19 vaccine distribution to protect our community and move our economy forward. Vaccine supplies are currently extremely limited, and as the state provides more vaccines to the county, we are working hard to distribute them as fast as possible. Register for vaccine updates and get more information at miamidade.gov/vaccine. Get vaccinated, Miami-Dade County. It's our best shot for a strong, healthy community.
Good morning, South Florida. Welcome to another edition of UM's Frost Jazz Hour, right here on WDNA 88.9 FM, the home of serious jazz. My name is Chuck Bergeron. Good morning, everyone. So great to be back. We're starting a new school year, and I'm very, very excited to introduce you all to the incredible young artists we have in the studio this morning. For those of you that keep up with our program, you know about the Stamps Scholarship Program. Well, this year we are starting a new Stamps Jazz Quintet. We have 5 of the top freshmen in the country who have just come to school a couple of weeks ago, and they're putting this band together. I am really excited to introduce you to each one of them. It's a band that represents America from coast to coast. You're going to hear some originals and some covers of some other tunes, and we're going to do some interviewing. We also have a very, very special guest, a surprise guest who's going to drop by and do a little phone interview with us today. So we've got all kinds of things going on this morning on the Frost Jazz Hour, but I can think of no better way to start the program than just by introducing you to the music of the new Stamps Jazz Quintet right here on WDNA. Oh, how about that? Good morning, everyone. You are listening to the newest rendition of the Stamps Jazz Quintet. Gentlemen, that was outstanding. For our listeners, that, of course, was a Wynton Marsalis composition. But each of the members of this group is a great composer and arranger as well, and they're going to be demonstrating some of their music here over the next hour and throughout the course of the next 4 years here. I want to introduce everybody to these incredible young musicians. I feel privileged that we have them here at the Frost School of Music. They were among the top recruits for all the top music schools in the country and beyond, and I'm really excited that they chose to come to the Frost School of Music, and they're going to be developing all of their music together. The first gentleman I want to introduce you to is our piano player from the great city of Chicago. Would you please welcome Mr. Devin Shaw? Devin, welcome to the Frost School and the Frost Jazz Hour.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, playing with these great musicians, you know, like-minded people trying to keep this music alive.
It's great to have you here. I've been able to hear you play a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and I think you are a great composer as well, and we're going to hear one of your pieces now. Tell me who some of your influences are, have been as a piano player and a composer.
As a piano player, and I would say more as a musician, too, my dad has been a great influence from a young age, showing me jazz records, you know, Hubert Law's records, you know, stuff like even Bob James, like all the 70s fusion stuff. So, like, that inspired me to play at a young age. But then, you know, going through, like, the jazz world and listening to, like, you know, specifically jazz artists, I love Kenny Kirkland. He inspires a lot of my compositions. You know, artists like Avishai Cohen, too. It's a wide variety as well. And then, of course, great cats like Miles and Bird and Blakey and Wayne. Like, those are, like, you have to be all-encompassing, you know?
Sure,
listen
the
to
masters.
everything.
I remember doing a Zoom interview with your father, and he had this backdrop that was all these record albums, and I was like, I know every one of those albums. We talked about that for like half an hour. Well, we are very excited to have you here. I feel privileged that you chose to come to the Frost School of Music, and we can't wait to watch your artistry grow. And speaking of that, I think the next piece we're going to play this morning is a composition of yours. So while you make your way over to the piano, I want to let everybody know that after this piece, we're going to have a special guest calling in, a very special guest. So you want to stick around for that, and we'll do a couple of interviews with him. But right now, we'd like to play Devin Shaw's original composition on the Frost Jazz Hour. This is Les Garçons Petits et Noirs on the Frost Jazz Hour. An original composition from our pianist, Mr. Devin Shaw. We're going to take a brief pause for the cause, and when we come back, we're going to have a very, very special guest dropping in to talk with us. We've got some special events we want to talk about, and we want to introduce you to the rest of these incredible young artists. So please stick around for the second half of the Frost Jazz Hour. Welcome back to the Frost Jazz Hour. As we begin a new school year, we at Frost are very pleased to be reopening Gusman Concert Hall for live audiences and special guest appearances. To celebrate this reopening, the Jazz Department thought there'd be no better way to do it than to bring in one of the greatest musicians in the world, 7-time Grammy winner Christian McBride. Christian will appear live in concert on Wednesday, September 15th, with both of our award-winning big bands, the Concert Jazz Band, under the direction of Dr. John DeVersa, and the SJB Big Band, newly directed by our newest faculty member. We are very pleased and excited that our newest colleague is the great Etienne Charles. And this will be a wonderful opportunity for everyone to meet him and see him in his big band conducting debut here at Frost. This is going to be a terrific concert, and I highly recommend purchasing your tickets in advance by going to frostmusiclive.com. That's frostmusiclive.com. At this time, we have a very special treat for you. Joining us this morning on the Frost Jazz Hour is the one and only Christian McBride. We are honored to have him here. Christian, welcome to the program.
Chuck, you didn't call Etienne Charles great, did you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. And he might be listening, so, you know.
Well, exactly. That's why I'm saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Give him very good. I'm not sure about great. No, I'm just joking.
Well,
I love Etienne. That's my man.
I know.
That's why I can tease him about that.
And it's going to be a great concert. And look, we are all really excited that you're going to come down and work with our students and play with this band. And could I just ask you a question about that? About what is it you like most about working with students in this capacity?
They're hungry. You know, you see that fire in their eyes. They want information. They're hungry for knowledge and wisdom, and they're willing to do what, you know, it's you can see who is trying to get that, trying to go that extra mile so they can be called great, and they could go on the road and make music and touch people. So it's really wonderful to work with younger musicians when they're in that period of just, you know, the antennas all the way up. The eyes are wide open. The vistas are all open. It's just it's a wonderful thing.
That's terrific. I've had the privilege of watching you work with students like that. In the last couple of years, we've had a wonderful partnership between the Frost School and the Jazz Aspen Academy, of which you are the artistic director. And we've sent a lot of Frost students there. But going back to Etienne Charles, who was part of that program when he was young, and you've really developed a beautiful thing there at Jazz Aspen, and we thank you for it, and we're honored to be part of it with you.
Oh, well, Chuck, you are just not just a brilliant musician, but I always feel like a musician's skills only reflect their personality. So it's a joy to work with you, and you really keep things together and bring a wonderful energy. So the feeling is mutual.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to have those kind words. And we can't wait to have you working with the students and doing this concert Wednesday, September the 15th. And both of our bands are Downbeat Award winners, so they're going to bring a lot to the table and a lot to your music. And I know they're working hard right now on rehearsing it, especially with our new conductor, Maestro Charles.
Yes. And he knows the music pretty well, so I'm very much looking forward to working with you guys.
All right, it's going to be a fabulous concert, and seriously, just from me to you, thank you so much for taking the time out of just an incredibly busy schedule. All right, that's a little interview that we did with the great Christian Mcbride, and as we were talking, we're very excited that Gusman Concert Hall is going to be open up again, and I highly recommend that you go to the website and look for tickets in advance. But this is going to be one incredible event. Next Wednesday night, September the 15th, 7:30, Gusman Concert Hall. The one and only Christian Mcbride with the SJB and the CJB, John DeVersa and Etienne Charles. What an incredible night of music. But we're having an incredible morning of music right here on the Frost Jazz Hour. The next gentleman I want to introduce you to is our tenor player and one of our composers for the New Stamps group. This is Mr. Adam Lord, who comes to us from West Palm Beach. So we've got a Florida native in the band. But Adam, welcome to the show and to the Frost School.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I believe that you did a little bit of studying with our newly retired faculty member, Professor Gary Keller, before you got here.
Yeah, I did. I had a handful of lessons with him.
Okay, we're going to miss him. He just retired, of course, and but the legacy that he's left here at the Frost School is extensive. And on his way out to bring in one of his students on the way in, I think that's a nice little symmetry there. Tell us about some of your influences as a composer and a player.
As a player, I'd say like some of my biggest influences are, of course, Bird. I listened to a lot of Charlie Parker when I started playing the saxophone. A lot of Sonny Rollins. My private teacher got me into a lot of Dexter Gordon and Hank Mobley as well. And of course, every tenor player's influence includes John Coltrane, always on that list. As a composer, I'd say that like lately I've been checking out a lot of Wayne Shorter, a lot of his compositions, but there's a lot of Blakey in my writing as well, a lot of Joe Henderson in my writing, and a good amount of Mingus too.
The Masters. Okay, terrific. And the next piece that we're going to hear this morning is one of yours, yes?
Yes, it is.
What's the name of it?
There is no such thing as a blues.
There's no such thing as a blues. Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Adam Lord. All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for being here this morning. And as we crank up this next tune, I just want to remind everybody that concert is next Wednesday night in Gusman Hall. You can go to frostmusiclive.com. For tickets and other information, frostmusiclive.com, and we hope to see you there. But back to our show here and the Stamps Jazz Quintet with Adam Lord's original composition, There's No Such Thing as a Blues. about that? There is no such thing as a blues. Adam Lord and the Stamps Jazz Quintet. As we said this morning, we wanted to introduce you to this new group of students. I am incredibly excited that we're going to be able to work with them for the next 4 years. And as we've already discussed with them, each semester they're going to be working and mentored by a different faculty member. Etienne Charles will be with you in the spring. And then, I mean, everybody on the faculty wants to work with you guys so much. Brian Lynch and Marcus Strickland and Martin Bejarano and John Hart. And it doesn't get any better than this. When the dean texts in to the radio show to tell me how great you guys sound, that's a good sign. So congratulations. I wanted to point out one of the things that is so great about this group from the get-go is we've got a great vibe, we've got a great groove, we've got a great pulse happening, and we've got a bit of an east-west connection. So we want to introduce you right now to that east-west connection. This literally is a coast-to-coast band. On bass, from Oakland, California, I want to introduce you to a great young bassist by the name of Aiden McCarthy. Aiden, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bertrand. I'm so happy to be here.
Great to have you here. And the groove that you and the next gentleman we're going to talk to bring right away, so infectious.
Thank you so much. It means the world.
I am going to embarrass you just a little bit, too. You know, I got a phone call about you when we were recruiting, and that phone call came from my dear friend, John Clayton.
Yes, I remember that.
And John said, you better go with this guy. And now we all see and feel why. Just tremendous, man, tremendous. But welcome to the Frost School of Music.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be at the Frost School of Music. It's been wonderful so far.
What about some of your influences as a bass player?
I mean, you already mentioned one. I mean, at the top of my list has to be Mr. John Clayton.
Sure.
You know, the great John Clayton. Got to study with him for a year, and before that, I'd been, you know, the biggest fan of his work with Monty Alexander, his work with his own big band and the Clayton Brothers, and so I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me and for others. And then for other than that, you know, Ray Brown, who is his teacher, is huge for me. Mingus, Paul Chambers. I mean, the list goes on and on. Jimmy Garrison, Dave Holland, you know, all those sorts of people.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so you were obviously mentored very well from the start. And my good friend and this year TA, Max Schwartz, of course, from the same part of the country as you.
Yes.
And you're filling some big shoes there following him.
Yes, I am.
And so we're grateful to have him back a little bit. And, you know, anything that you need, you know, Max is right there for you. But, you know, you can't make a good band if the bass player and the drummer don't make a great band. And I think we're just really, really lucky. So why don't you help me, and let's introduce everyone to your East Coast connection, this great, great young drummer from the Boston area. Would you please welcome to the show Mr. Jacob Smith. Welcome to the show and welcome to the Frost School of Music,
Thank
Mr.
you
Smith.
for having me, Mr. Bergeron. Excited to be here.
Sound incredibly great. And you and Aiden together, and you and Aiden and Devin, a great trio. And we put these two fabulous horn players, and that is the band of the century for me. Tell me about some of your influences growing up. I mean, you obviously have a wide-ranging vocabulary. So tell me.
Luckily, you know, God blessed me with two parents that are music teachers, so they were able to, you know, guide me throughout, you know, high school and my childhood. They put me on to a bunch of music. Like, I remember when I was like 3, they had this like little disc, and on that disc was like So What, Chameleon, Moanin', like a bunch of tunes. Like, so I was in the music from the beginning. Obviously, my first drum teacher, who actually gave me my first, you know, actual drum set, like the blue and gold kit that you see, he gave me that drum set. So obviously, you know, I owe a great deal to him. When it comes to the music itself, I'd say, you know, my idol and hero is the great Art Blakey. His beat, you know, I've been obsessed with it. Essentially, you know, I also like, you know, greats like Elvin Jones and Roy Haynes and, you know, all those people. But, you know, outside the music, well, same sort of branch, but I'm also a huge James Brown fan, just in, like, not necessarily how he was as a person, but how he is as an artist and what he commanded in the level of excellence. Like, that's inspiring, so.
You know, Mcbride's going to love you. 'Cause outside of what you just said about the jazz, one of his huge passions is James Brown.
Yeah.
So I hope we get to talk to him a little bit about that.
bad
But
cat.
yeah, that's so great. And I'm enjoying the fact that 5 people so young are already so knowledgeable and respectful of the history and the masters who gave us this incredible art form. And your influences are just, incredible. And now you know how to build on them because you are the future of this music. And I'm really excited that for the next 4 years, we're going to get to watch and feel and listen to that evolve.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And on a personal note, during recruiting, I got to meet and talk with all of your families. And they're great people. And I enjoyed meeting them and talking with them. And you guys all come from really, just great backgrounds, and I'm glad you're here. I feel privileged that the Frost School was able to get the 5 of you because every music school in the country wanted all of you. But since ours is the best, we got you. No, we're really delighted to have you here. I'm going to play one more Mcbride thing, and then we're going to talk about that big event next week, and then I have one more gentleman to get to and some more music. So stay with us on the Frost Jazz Hour, and let's see what Mr. Mcbride has to say. For those of you that are not aware, in addition to being one of the most recorded musicians and just an incredible force, Christian is also the artistic director of the Newport Jazz Festival, which I understand was highly successful this past summer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Jazz Night in America, Conversations with Christian, hosting shows on NPR and Sirius XM. How do you find the time for everything?
Well, I have a very regimented calendar, as you can well imagine. It's a bit of a challenge because I like to be an in the moment kind of person, but can't quite be like that with as many responsibilities. I know you know what that's like, so I do my best.
Well, your best is amazing, my friend. We are really privileged to have you come down here. Let me ask you one last question, and I'm going to let you go. All the albums you're on as a bassist and a sideman, and your great albums as a leader with a small group, you've also won 2 Grammy Awards for your big band writing and arranging and production. I know the music of those records very well, The Good Feeling and Bringing It. Tell me a little bit about why you would delve into the big band format to present your music.
When I was in high school, I became fascinated with Oliver Nelson's Blues and the Abstract Truth album. And while that's not a big band record, it is a large ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started to transcribe all of the parts from that album because I was just fascinated. Every high school band in the world probably plays Stolen Moments, and they did 35 years ago. And our high school band would play it, and then I would hear the record, and I would say, I have to figure out what makes the record sound so great, and then that led me to start transcribing parts from a McCoy Tyner album called Tender Moments, which, again, that's a large ensemble recording as well. And I just got really into analyzing harmonies and orchestration, and I just got curious. I wanted to learn how do you take 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, and 5 reeds and make music out of that, So it was just a curiosity kind of thing. And Wynton Marsalis gave me my first commission in 1995. And that was my first official foray into big band writing. And then later on, people like Justin DeChocho, who I'm sure you know very well,
Sure.
And the late, great Jack Elliott, who was the founder of the Mancini Institute. Both of those gentlemen were very supportive, and they really stayed on me to write more for big band. And then, of course, my big brother, our big brother, John Clayton, I then just got crazy about it. I really wanted to spend as much time as I could with as many arrangers as I could, and I sent away for a bunch of books. Rayburn Wright's Inside the Score, Nelson Riddle's book, all kinds of books I got. And that's pretty much how it happened. Just curiosity led me to this.
Okay, well, it's tremendous. I know the music from both of those records that won the Grammys, and I think you're going to present some of that in concert with our students. And
Indeed.
it's great writing, the grooves. Our friend Frank Green playing lead trumpet on those recordings.
Yep.
So listen, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you've got to get back to so many things, but thank you so much for taking the time on the Frost Jazz Hour, and thank you from the entire Frost School of Music for your appearance on September the 15th with our groups down here at the University of Miami.
My honor, Chuck. Looking forward to it.
Take care. All right, that's a little bit of the interview we did last week with the great Christian McBride. And as we're reminding everybody, Gusman Concert Hall on the campus of the University of Miami, we are open for business. We're going to have an incredible concert next Wednesday night, September the 15th, with the one and only Christian McBride and the Concert Jazz Band under the direction of John DeVersa, and the Studio Jazz Band, newly under the direction of Etienne Charles. Wednesday, September the 15th, 7:30, and I encourage everybody to go online to frostmusiclive.com. That's frostmusiclive.com for tickets and other information. As we head toward the close of the program, I want to introduce you to one more gentleman who is an incredible player and a budding composer as well, and we're going to go to the top of the hour with an original composition. But would you please help me right now in welcoming a great trumpet player to the Frost Jazz Hour? This is Mr. Joshua Polian.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. And you, of course, are from Louisville, Kentucky.
That is right. That is correct.
So welcome to our show. And since everybody else was talking about influences and things like that, tell us about some of your influences.
Yeah, so some of my influences are Blue Mitchell. I listened to a lot of him when I started playing jazz. And then just checking out different people, my mentors, Dr. Anson Banks from the University of Louisville and Dr. Mondre Moffitt. They were very instrumental in helping me to find different people to listen to. So I listened to Sean Jones, and Sean Jones taught me about his trumpet trinity, which are Freddie Hubbard, Woody Shaw, and Clifford Brown. So, yeah.
Terrific. And what about your writing? I'm loving what I'm hearing so far. What about as a composer?
So as a composer, I mainly pull from Wayne Shorter. He has a lot of things that I like to implement in my pieces and my compositions. So,
terrific, terrific. And the piece that we're going to close the program with this morning is one of yours. What's the name of this composition?
It is called A Quarantine Mystery.
A Quarantine Mystery. Okay. That's Mr. Joshua Polian, everybody. Thank you, sir. And while you get back up to the bandstand, just want to remind everybody one more time about that concert on Wednesday, September the 15th. Christian McBride in town with the Frost Studio Jazz Band and the Frost Concert Jazz Band. And as I'm reminding everybody of everything else, one more time, this is the newest incarnation of the Stamps Jazz Quintet. These incredible young gentlemen are going to be with us for 4 years or more, and we really look forward to all the different venues they're going to be playing in, the different styles of music they're exploring. One more time, from Chicago, Illinois, on the piano, Mr. Devin Shaw. From West Palm Beach, Florida, on the tenor saxophone, Mr. Adam Lord. From Oakland, California, on the bass, Aiden McCarthy. I love somebody from Oakland. That's an excellent thing. All right. Joshua Polian from Louisville, Kentucky, on the trumpet. And on the drums, from the greater Boston area and beyond, Mr. Jacob Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, the Stamps Jazz Quintet.